Okay, welcome back everyone to another episode of Yoda's Hut. I'm Bill. I go by Yodaman on the boards, and once again I'm joined for commentary on this game by Derek. Hey Derek, how's it going tonight?
Doing all right.
All right, and we've also got our special guest again with us as we're going through the Star Championship from Gamers Armory last week. Ben, who goes by Pants YG on the boards with us again too. Hey Ben, how's it going?
Doing good.
All right, so we are in the second round of Swiss in Game 2. I am on the right playing my Navy Sith deck against Anthony, who is on the left playing a Smuggler Jedi deck. I'll quickly run through the deck lists again here. So I've got my Death Star 4 Palpatine deck, so it's got 2 Technological Terror, 1 Endor Entrapment, 2 Emperor's Web, 2 Emperor's Promise, 1 Executor Arrives, 1 Plan of the Prophetess, and 1 Lure of the Lost. And Anthony over there on the left, he's got Smuggler's Affiliation. He's got 2 Asteroid Sanctuary, 1 Along the Gamma Run, 1 No Match for a Good Blaster, 2 May the Force Be With You, 1 Hero's Journey, 1 Secret of Yavin 4, 1 Last Minute Rescue, the old Redemption set, and 1 Hero's Trial. So going into this game, again, second round of 3 at Swiss. We had 6 people at the store championship. Not a huge turnout, but it's actually a few more than I thought. I'm sitting on 6 points. Anthony, unfortunately, is on 0, just the way we got matched up here. And so, got any thoughts about the deck list here? We've seen mine earlier, but haven't seen Anthony's light side yet.
He's got a lot of one-ofs, which some people like that. I mean, that eliminates the odds of getting duplicates, where you can't play. The last-minute rescue is a bit of a pod that we don't see too often, but I think primarily because of the edge pip counts in it are low, and there's a lot of high-cost stuff.
Yeah.
But it's still, I mean, there's some decent cards in that set. It just never gets any play.
Yep. It looks like we're flipping up objectives. I got Technological Terror, Lure of the Lost, and Emperor's Web, so he's got 2 juicy 4 health objectives to shoot at. And he started with May the Force Be With You, Hero's Trial, and Last Minute Rescue, which lets you take a damage off of something after you refresh. So that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's the nice thing. The objective for that set is pretty good.
Yeah, sure is. So, and it looks like I'm going to start with a Death Star Engineer, try to get some resource ramp going here. Whoops, yeah, we had the balance the wrong way. And let's
Honestly,
see.
that set as a whole is pretty borderline usable.
Right.
There's just a few things that either cost too much or don't do enough, or
Yeah.
that stupid Corellian engineer that doesn't have any combat.
Every time I draw that sucker, I'm like, why is this? Oh my god! That card should not have been printed.
No,
That's like I'd use it as a damn coaster if I had it.
I mean, I think shielding is one of the best keywords in the game, and I guess maybe they overestimated how good it was at the beginning.
Right.
2 cost, no icons, 2 health, shielding.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like the Chud in the core Tarkin set, right? The only
Yeah.
thing he's got is shielding and that search effect that makes you discard stuff.
Yeah. And I played Rav too after I played the Dark Temple, committed the Death Star Engineer and cleared off Dark Temple. So I am sitting there with quite a few resources right now. I got 8 potentially. I could play an Executor.
Good. When you first told me about this deck, I loved the idea of putting Technological Terror in there just to ramp out some of the bigger Sith stuff or have enough to play a reasonable unit and an event.
Yeah, there is Yoda, you seek Yoda, so the Dow will go up to 2. That's
I'd rather
always a good play.
I'd rather draw 5 of that damn engineer from Tarkin set before I see that stupid engineer on the last minute. I hate that damn engineer.
Now, come on, it's not, yeah. But yeah,
Pretty
if
funny.
they had,
I mean, you have to agree that it's one of the worst cards they printed.
yeah, if they had put like a resource on it too, that would, like the advisor or something, like even if he
Yeah.
didn't have any icons, he was shielding but generated a resource, man, that would have been so much better for that set. Because that's what that set needs, I think. It needed a resource.
It needs redemption to either be elite or not cost 5, because it actually has really good icons and its
Right.
effect is strong.
Right, right.
Well, it's a 4 health unit though too, so at that point I can see the 5 cost
Yeah.
for
But
it.
it's not
The
elite.
problem is,
It's just like
yeah,
executive.
but you still have like you got a 3 cost event in there. You've got, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there that's relatively expensive and no resource in the set.
Yeah.
Right.
And
And
there-
it's got that event the emergency repair event that lets you remove all the damage from your objectives,
Right.
which seems super situational.
Yeah, and it's got Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi is a good card. I'll give you that.
Yeah, so he just played a speeder bike, so that's not a bad first turn for Anthony on there with the speeder bike and Yoda. And yeah, he's just going to commit Yoda. He actually didn't attack. I was a little surprised about that with May the Force be with you out, but
He's missing out on some free damage there.
yeah, maybe he was paying attention to what I did, like just trying to build a board. So Dow's going to go to 3. Technological Terror is elite. It stayed on the board this game. Hey, unlike my game against you, Ben, at least stayed out there. You blew it up the first turn.
That's Corellian Corvettes for you.
Yeah. I think I got another engineer. I think I got a handful of engineers, actually.
Well, because of technological terror, too, Yoda has an extra gun.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
And then
forgot about that.
There's another engineer, and there is Mission Palpatine.
Turn 2 Palpatine. That
Well,
feels pretty good.
I had said, it didn't happen in our game, Ben, but I played this deck or variations of it a ton against Dr. Mungmung over the last 2 weeks leading up this tournament. I was consistently drawing Palpatines like between the draws or the mulligans and playing them turn 2, like one of the versions, like almost every single game. It was crazy. Yeah.
Does he only triggers when an enemy objective blows up, right?
Yeah. When you destroy an enemy objective, he lets you take control of something that has 3 or fewer printed Force icons. Now, the one thing is he only has one tactics, which is a little...
Yeah, that's true.
But he's got a black gun and a white gun. He's got a black blast and a white blast. So.
And 4 health, right?
Yeah, he's got 4 health also. And he's still got his 5 pips, so I took one off Dark Temple. Strong. I took balance back thanks to that, too.
Yoda does have 4 guns.
Yeah, Yoda does have 4 guns, and I do not have...
protectors floating around.
Yeah, I was usually getting protectors out early, too, since there's 4 of them in this deck.
Yeah. I do like that consistency of finding your protectors and then Palpatines.
And there is Han Solo with his targeted strike, and I'm like, ugh.
I like that version of Han Solo a lot.
Yeah, he could kill an engineer.
Really good.
He's really good. Chewie, unfortunately, was kind of a non-starter. I remember all the talk that was going around about how good he was, changing the way the Force battle worked and all that. And
if just one of his icons was a blast, it would have helped.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it was like a white blast on with him.
Although, I might change my opinion when that spoiled Wookiee set comes out, because...
That set's going to just revive the other Chewie.
Yeah.
The damaged Chewie?
Yeah, it's going to bring him back. The others are not going to be important. That one is just going to be ridiculous.
I like the shield Chewie too, though. I mean, it's not as busted, but...
Yeah, it's like Tom said when they designed the set and that card, the whole idea was to bring the other Chewie back, was to make him brutal.
I think it's gonna work.
So
I think it is too.
Yeah, he's going after Laura the Lost. And he's going after it with everybody.
Man, this guy, non-stop, he's pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
That's a weird choice considering you've got those 2 4-health objectives there to blow up.
Yeah, I don't know why he goes after that. He's not going to... That's probably the objective that's going to be the least important.
Yeah, there's nothing to send in back into the deck right now.
Yeah.
I think you definitely want to get rid of that elite objective, because if we've learned anything about elite objectives for Darkseid, it's that they're ridiculous.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't have enough blast to blow it up anyway, but...
Unless he's got a target or something, he's not blowing anything up. But
yeah.
He could turn off technological terror, but I think... or he could just split his attacks.
Yeah.
And because whoever he sends, as long as he sends a speeder in first, he's gonna have 3 tactics. He's gonna lock down, anything crucial, and he can send the other guy in for an attack on the second objective.
Yeah.
And that'll give him more damage to spread around, because he'll have unopposed twice as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I just chose to let this go.
Wow.
I mean, he is still doing 3 damage, so...
Right. I didn't think it was worth it for me to step in the way. He still had 5 cards for Edge. That Palpatine...
the ridiculous thing
Right.
You have the damage on the board to trigger Palpatine in your next turn.
Right.
So, yeah. I think taking the hit might not be the worst.
Right, even though Palpatine might get locked down here. So he struck with the speeder bike, focused Palpatine, focused Rav. Now he's got 2-gun targeted strike from Han. So I'm guessing, I don't know, you take out an engineer maybe?
Rav is not elite, is he?
Yeah, Rav is an elite.
Yeah, I think you put 3 on Palp.
Yeah, he's putting 3 on Palp. I gotta think. There's a second one on Palp, so I assume Yoda's gonna put 1 on Palp. Yeah.
I think I would have shot one of those engineers though.
Yeah,
Like,
I
granted,
think so
Rav
too.
triggers, but that's less damage spreader, and it actually kills something.
Yeah. So I'm reading Last Minute Rescue because I was trying to remember when it triggered if I ended up doing damage to his units somehow. It's like, okay, wait, when's it go? So he's going to commit Han and free Han up.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Get balance back. Oh, I'm going to force choke Yoda at the end of Force Phase.
Just get it out of hand.
I must be planning to get rid of Yoda or something. Or no, I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I wouldn't have hit Han. Oh, I think I know why I didn't hit Han. As you just said, I think I've got enough to blow up a mission.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to steal Han.
And I'm going to steal Han, so I didn't want to put damage on him.
Well, now you don't have the damage to do it.
No, I don't. Not on the board.
But there's plenty of decent draws.
Yeah. All I need is one thing with tactics to lock Han down and then blow something up. I've certainly got the resources here.
Yeah, you get 7 right now.
Yeah. Palpatine locked down doesn't. He still triggers even if he's locked down.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, I can't use him to free up Palpatine. It'd be nice if you could use the engineers to do that.
Because they need to be more busted than they already are.
Nah, they're only a little busted. And there is Laura the Dark Side.
I mean, I'll give you that if you only draw engineers, they're not very busted.
Right. Yeah. So.
But when you draw engineers and a bunch of chimeras and stuff like that, then let's change your tune pretty quick.
So
what's really nasty here is you're going to be able to take Han and the bike, can't you? Because of Palpatine and that mission.
Yeah, and there's technological terror, and there's another engineer.
That's absolute brutality.
Now you've got enough. And well, not if he can still block with Han, so if he can focus something and win edge.
Yeah, that's true.
And he can kill someone in the process.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he won't have targeted strike now, but he could kill like whatever I attack with.
Right.
Well, you're obviously gonna send the.
I forgot you had that dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna send the Fleet Navigator in. He's my sacrificial lamb here, I think.
And then you just have to make sure that you win edge.
Yeah.
So that he can't tactics anything.
So I am sending him in after Last Minute Rescue.
Yeah. Hopefully he knows what he's up against here, because he needs to win this edge battle to not lose.
I can sort of see he's got a twist.
Yeah. He's kind of holding his cards at a strange angle there.
Yeah. He wanted everybody who's watching on camera to see what he had.
I think we all appreciate that.
Yeah. Can't tell what else he's in there.
Hard in these comics.
There's a 3PO in there. Can't tell what else he has. Now, I remember Anthony said he hadn't actually seen the Mission Palpatine, so he was kind of very intrigued by what it did. He and his dad didn't have that pack. They went and bought it after the tournament. Like, that was pretty neat.
It's a really cool effect.
Yeah. So I am sending the Fleet Navigator, and I'm putting one in.
It's too bad the light side version of that stuff, the Luke with the Luke mission, didn't totally suck balls.
Right.
Yeah,
and I had a seeds, and he twisted it. Oh,
very nice.
I was going to try to seeds Han so he wouldn't kill any of my guys before I hopefully stole them.
Some of the events in the Luke version are pretty strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it It's just, and also with Luke being the only unit in there, that's a downside too.
I think that's the
the main
biggest downside. Yeah.
And he's not very strong, I don't think.
Yeah.
I pitched one in and he pitched one in, so he's going to win edge. My
Nice.
fleet navigator's dying, so I've lost some of my resource ramp here. He's going to get to focus something. Oh, okay. So this was another thing I think. Said Anthony, he's played at home with his dad. They've been playing for about a year. I think he incorrectly thought targeted strike worked on defense, so I had to explain that it doesn't actually work on defense. But that's going to trigger Rav when he kills my fleet navigator, and I'm going to do a damage to the Lure of the Lost.
So it's going to be irrelevant whether he can focus something, huh?
Right. So he did focus Rav.
Yeah, but now you're still gonna have enough with just the engineers.
Yeah, although that'll leave me wide open. So I am. I think I know why I'm doing this. I'm attacking Hero's Trial. I have secret objective, so I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move the engineer back to Lure of the Lost with secret objective. I think Anthony hadn't seen that one as much before too. So I'm not going to even have to send everybody in to do this.
You're going to have to send almost everyone in. I guess you can get the points back.
You leave one little engineer back.
Right, I'm going to leave one little engineer back. So that does 2 damage with the unopposed, and then send another engineer in. I'm going to blow it up, and then that's going to trigger the mission, which lets me steal something 4 icons or less. So I can't get Yoda, but I think I'll probably get Han with that. Yeah. I felt a little bad when I did this. I have to be honest with you. I mean, I hadn't really seen the cards.
The effects in that set are really cool. I think they're interesting, but they're so brutal because this game is so heavily dependent on tempo. Like, if a big unit gets killed for little cost, or gets even worse, like taken to the other side of the board, it's insurmountable almost.
Right. So I stole his Han, and I'm stealing the bike. The dial should go up too because I just blew that up. So I don't remember if I triggered the dial. Yeah, there we go, to 5. Now he should get his force card back. I think he asked me. I just forgot he was committed. He goes, does he get committed for you too? I said, oh no, sorry, you get your force card back. I just had forgotten.
Yeah, it's looking pretty desperate for him now.
Yeah, I think we were talking. He's like, that's a crazy thing, what I just did there. I said, I felt a little bad because he had clearly never seen it before. He hadn't seen Palpatine when I played it. He's kind of like, what's that do? And then when I played the mission, he's like, what's that do? So I did take balance back with the engineer. I'm out of cards, though. Although I think he's only got 4 resources, so I'm feeling like shouldn't be too awful here.
Yeah. You should heal Yoda too, right? From the objective?
Yeah, he should. I think we caught that eventually. And eventually I know we're going to catch that I gave him his force card back.
Yeah, it's sitting under Han right now.
Yeah. Right, I think I'm saying how crazy it was I was do that, but at least I couldn't get Yoda. And there's the good Luke, right? Except right now he's got the core Luke in there. Core Luke might actually be better because he has targeted strike.
Yeah, it's again, this game is basically over. There's no comeback mechanic in this deck that's going to get over what you've got going on there.
Yeah, I think I'm in a pretty good position here. I will say that.
Well, the only thing you could potentially hope for is just the shenanigans with that Luke and his lightsaber being able to double strike, do damage, and just start picking your guys off. He's going to have to do it very quickly.
Yeah, so
he's going to have to find a way to do it in such a way that that Luke just doesn't get taken too.
So he sent Yoda in and blew up Lure of the Lost. So he's got his first objective, and he focused the speeder bike. I think that's the right move. Because anything else,
him for that.
Yeah, don't want that coming back and locking your board down. And then he's going to send Luke in after Technological Terror, so it'll at least turn Technological Terror off. Oh, I think I'm pointing out that he should have healed Yoda. There we go. He took it off.
Yeah.
We still didn't catch the force card. I remember this coming up. I had to have given this force card back. I think I just wasn't thinking when I grabbed it. And he struck with Luke for 3. And now he's probably going to commit Luke just so he has a defender, I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, who did he focus? Oh, the speeder bike.
He focused the speeder bike.
That's...
Oh, yeah, now that's where he's asking about the force card. I'm like, oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot. I shouldn't have taken that. I certainly didn't mean to do that. So sorry again, Anthony.
I think I almost wouldn't let you have the speeder bike. Although, with all those Palpatines and Death Stars, winning that edge battle to kill it's kind of tough.
So Dial's can only go up to 6 here, so I can't win this turn unless I blow up all 3.
I mean, he can sneak it out, too, because Palpatine, he can only take units with 3 or less icons, right?
Right.
So,
unless I can play the other copy of the mission.
I thought you pitched it in the edge already.
Yeah, I thought I did, too. I could have gotten it back with Lure of the Lost if he hadn't blown it up.
So what he needs to do here is survive. Hope you lock yourself out, which, counting on your opponent to make a mistake is always a tough spot. But he
only needs 5 damage.
Yeah, that Luke, I mean, he can't double strike anymore because of the commitment, but he's a strong unit. You can definitely pick off some of the stuff you got.
So, I'm playing Saris.
You must have had a good draw.
Well, she does have tactics. I might have been thinking about, I just wanted to try to lock Luke down here.
She wouldn't be terrible with just 1 more health.
Yeah.
Her ability's a little stupid, though.
Yeah, so I've got a lot of resources open. I don't know if I'm having a bend draw where I just had nothing to play, or if I really have something I want to use with that. I feel like I had like a Force Lightning or something, so that's why I wanted to get Saris out so I could lock Luke down and then Force Lightning him.
Yeah, fortunately here you've got a lot of stuff on the board already, so
right.
A bad draw is not the end of the world.
Yep. And I'm sending Saris in after last minute rescue.
Yeah, and that's a tough choice against Force Lightning. I mean, it's basically no choice at all.
Yeah.
You gotta block.
So he let it go. He actually let it go.
Yeah.
And they do 2 damage to last minute rescue. And there I'm gonna Force Lightning assume Luke. Yeah. And then that should trigger Rav, so I wonder if I'll remember to trigger Rav here. Yep, and I pointed to Rav. So I'll do a damage to, I think I probably May the Force be with you. And I remember at this point I looked up at the clock and there wasn't a lot of time left in the round, so I was thinking I can't win this turn, but I've got to find a way that I get a last turn, because I'm sure I could win if I get 1 more turn. So
yeah, just toss those attacks in real quick and pass.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to go ahead and send, looks like Rav and the 2 engineers at May the Force be with you. And that'll blow that up. And that's my second thing since I blew up the mission. The dial's going to go to 8.
Did you put another tactics on Yoda at some point? I thought you were going to lock him down.
No, I actually didn't.
Yeah, Rav doesn't have any tactics, does he?
No,
I
think I saved
Han. Yeah.
I guess I saved Han so I could have him for defense. One of the funniest things I ever remember doing in a game, maybe it was against you, Derek, I don't remember. Like, it was somebody on Octagon that somebody had, like, they stole my Han with the mission, Luke, and then I sent this targeted strike, or with the mission, and I sent targeted strike Luke in to take out Han, so I could get him off the board.
I think that was actually I don't think that was against me, but I remember seeing you do that. I think it was a game we did commentary on a long time ago.
Yeah, so I did send Han in, and I think I went after Hero's Trial there that second time, but he put the damage on last minute rescue, and I kind of fixed that. So Yoda's locked down. And I remember thinking, okay, as long as you don't take forever, there can't be a lot you can do with 4 resources and Yoda locked down. Then, yeah, there we go, fixing the damage. Then I should hopefully be able to finish us off next turn.
Yeah, I see 3PO in his hand, but that's about it.
Yeah, and he just
Does he have any targets in his deck?
No.
Oh, okay. If he had a target, there's like this really weird way that he could win. Because I see that he's got the Mystics in there who have the zero cost enhancement. So if he
Oh.
had double strike Luke, plays that enhancement on him, he can get the double strike that way.
Oh, I don't think he
Um,
had the Mystics.
but he needs a target to finish off one
Yeah.
of those objectives.
I don't.
Well,
I,
That objective is there?
yeah, he didn't have
Does
Mystics.
I thought he only had one copy of Hero's Trial.
Yeah.
Oh, right. No, but what's that bottom objective then, if it's not Mystics?
Uh,
I don't remember what that is.
Because I think it came up in one of the other games. He was asking if he could use a Mystic to take the focus token from focusing to strike.
Oh, maybe he told me the wrong thing for his deck list. I wrote down what he said. Maybe he had Mystics and something else wasn't in there. Although we've seen like stuff from almost every other set. So he just blew up Technological Terror with Luke.
The constellation prize there.
Yeah, well that's his second objective, technically.
Yeah, there's no available plays.
Yeah, and I'm gonna Force
And
Lightning.
another Force Lightning?
Yeah,
Uh,
before he
that
potentially
was,
freed
that
up
was
Luke.
rude.
Well, I didn't want him to free up Luke because I needed to get it. So the dial went to 10,
Yeah.
and I flipped up Plan of the Prophetess. And I think I
Now-
looked up and we
yeah,
had like
now
about
it's
2 minutes
done.
left in the round, and he just conceded.
yeah.
He knew I had it
There it
there. So I guess, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that's right. Maybe he does have Mysteries of the Rim. So I guess we said his deck list wrong. I'll have to go back and see what wasn't in there. I thought he said he had Gamma in there.
I didn't see any
We
Gamer
didn't
cards.
see anything from Gammer.
I remember
Um,
him pitching a Make Your Own Luck in like an early Edge battle.
Okay.
Maybe when
Well, let's see if we had two Lukes, two May the Force.
Maybe he
Um,
only had one of Falcon instead of two.
Yeah, we didn't see anything from Falcon set.
Yeah, I bet that might have been what it
He did
was.
have
Maybe he
Express.
only had one Falcon and then he had one Mysteries of the Rim.
uh,
That would make sense because I thought they only had one core set and they probably only had one Edge of Darkness. So
That
I
makes
sorry
sense.
we like said the deck list wrong earlier. I'll make sure I fix it on the actual the beginning stuff on the graphics there. But I bet that's what happened there. So anyway, so my deck worked a lot better that time.
yeah, that was a reminder of how brutal Mission Palp can be.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy there. So
Honestly, I feel like if you would have drawn that against my Rebels, I would have been pretty hosed. But you didn't, so I got lucky.
yeah, I think I drew it, but didn't play it that one turn. So anyway, but yeah, so that was I said I still thought he played pretty well. I think that game I just kind of was in control almost the whole time. There wasn't a lot he could do there.
think-
So
That deck really shows, or that game really shows something that I've been saying for a long time, which is ramping effects on the dark side. So, like, elite objectives or the force refresh resource, that sort of thing, are just so nuts because you get so far out ahead of the light side player
right.
that it can be really hard to do anything,
Yeah.
especially if you don't find any resources as the light side.
Yeah.
It feels like
Yeah, and neither
Never
one. I
end.
mean, I had the engineers, but they're only good for the capital ships, and I didn't really draw any. But
Yeah.
I only drew the Dark Temple really as far as a resource. So we were both kind of resource stuck there, but he didn't draw hardly any.
But you had technological terror.
Yeah, I did have technological terror. Fair enough. So
Yeah,
anyway.
I only had an elite resource. That's it.
and a pseudo elite resource that's elite when I win Force Struggles.
Right, exactly, exactly. So
In a deck, 4 Palpatines in it.
yeah,
Right.
But that
So-
kind of showed what my deck could do. Although my whole goal was in this tournament was I wanted to get the Death Star on the table, and I didn't do it. But I blew up the mission, so I guess that's
Yeah.
Plan B.
And I mean, being able to reliably play a turn 6 or turn 2 Palpatine is, I think that's a pretty strong thing that a deck can do.
right. I think so too.
So,
yeah.
yeah,
So go ahead, guys.
No, that was it. Sorry.
Yeah. Do you guys have any final thoughts on that one? So after that second round, I was sitting there at 9 points after the sweep there. So I actually was in second place going into the last round. Spoiler alert for people who are watching. And Ben, I think you had split your second round, so you were back
I
at 6,
split
right?
this one too. Yep.
Yeah, and then Jay, who goes by Inbred Jet on the boards, had actually swept his first 2 rounds, so he was on 12. So going in the last round, Jay and I were going to be matched up basically sort of winner take all. If he won a game, he was going to win. I was going to need to sweep to do it, and if I won and the second game went to time, then it was going to come down to strength of schedule. So I at least had a chance going into the last round, but he was undefeated. So, but you guys, before we wrap this one up, you got any final thoughts on that game there that we just saw?
The only thing that might have been different, I mean, the turn when it really turned on him is when you were able to kill the mission,
right?
Play it and kill it with Palp. But that was when he had only one defender.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just had Yoda or whatever because he had attacked with everything
he had Han.
the turn before, it was just Han.
Yeah.
So had he not done that all-in attack and left only one defender, maybe you wouldn't have been able to do that because that's where the game really shifted. He lost 2 big units.
Yeah.
At that point, he went from having 4 tactics to now all I've got is Yoda.
Yeah. In fairness to him, I mean, he'd never seen that mission, that set before at all, so I know that just had to completely catch him off guard. I was still impressed. And I think how young he was. Anthony, you played great, Anthony, if you're watching this. So
yeah, it would have been one thing if the mission was already on the table because you played it and blew it up in the same turn.
Yep,
so
I did.
He couldn't have been expecting that. He knew there was danger with Palpatine over there, but you didn't really have the obvious ability to blow up a mission in one turn.
Right.
Anyway, you did a whole bunch of shenanigans to pull it off.
Yeah, I did.
Granted, you had a few ways you could have do it, but it's still like that was where the game really got out of hand for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's again like that's the case. Like in that scenario, I probably would have attacked too. You probably would have played defense, and that's just a play style difference.
Right.
So I probably would have walked into the same booby trap.
Yeah, and I understood why he attacked there, though. I mean, maybe he could have left Yoda back on defense, but I think he wanted to send the speeder bike and Han in to try to lock Palpatine down. Especially being able to free up one of them. So Yoda was already committed, so not sending him, and then being able to commit Han and having the 2 of them for defense. Right.
Could have made a big difference for him.
Right, because really he didn't need all those tactics on Palpatine. So, and he didn't even put one of them on Palpatine. He put one of them on Rav. So he could have just let Rav free if he was only going to attack that way and stuff. Of course, I may have played it differently if he did put Yoda in there too. So there's that aspect. But once Yoda was in there was no way I was getting in the way of Yoda. So
yeah, well, it was 3 black tactics or it was 4 black tactics.
Right, exactly.
So.
But it's still a good game. Like I said, I was impressed. When I was 10 or 11 or however, I said I don't know how old Anthony is, but we're guessing he's pretty young. That there's no way I would have played that well or done anything like that. So I was still very impressed with how he played for not having played the game that long there too. So all right, well I guess we should wrap it up here again. Thanks to you, Ben, for joining us for commentary since you were at the tournament there from the Store Championship. Appreciated your insight. It's always good to have you around.
Yeah, of course. It was cool to see the other games that I wasn't part of.
Yep. And thanks to you, Derek, as always, for joining me for commentary. We'll have to pick it up with round 3, sort of the finals there as it could go. If I can win the first game, the second game will matter against Jay. So we're getting down to crunch time here in the Store Championship. But thanks as always for joining me for commentary, Derek. Appreciate it.
Yep, anytime.